Have you ever experienced a 20/20 as hindsight moment? You know, one of those experiences where looking back, you realize, oh, if I hadn't have known, I wouldn't have made that mistake. I would have gotten left instead of right. I've had many of those. And what I've realized at this point in my life is you learn really in one of two ways. You either learn through experience, which is often painful because we make mistakes, or you learn through people. What do I mean by people? You learn the wisdom of somebody's years without necessarily going through their pain. Pastor Sunday Adelaja at the Embassy of God here in Ukraine is a man of extraordinary success that we're all well aware of. And so I've had the opportunity after attending the History Maker training to partake in some of his books, and just reading one book has been transformative to me. Not only did I gain insight and clarity on mistakes and missteps that I had made in the past, but I gained wisdom on some that I was liable to make in the future. And based on what I had learned from, just a single book, I saved myself so much pain. Just to share with you some of the titles, we have one that's entitled, Think Money Won't Make You Rich. And so you can learn from here what true wealth is from someone who's amassed money but has learned that in fact that's not where true wealth lies. And so instead of you going down that road, you can discover the same for yourself. Another title, Declare War on Poverty. How do you do that? How do you practically do that? How do you transcend that from an emotional condition you have to a reality where you defeat the poverty in your life? Do you want to take 20 years to learn that, or do you want to read a book? The next is Mighty Warrior. The nature of life is war. We have to fight for all the progress that we make in this life. Some of it's an emotional fight. It can be a spiritual fight. It can be a psychological fight. It's a fight in many directions. How do I equip myself to be able to deal with the daily battles that are before me? Or even another title, A Heavenly Atmosphere in the Family. Keeping a family together and keeping a heavenly atmosphere in the family is something that has been very difficult for people to do all over the world. I know even in the United States where I'm from, divorce is at 70%. Is it because people don't want to stay in love? They don't want a happy family and a happy marriage? No, they're having trouble achieving that. Find out how to in just a book. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. Have you ever noticed that relationships are often made or broken by what you say to people? Because of how it makes them feel, what it makes them think. Discover how to position yourself in such a way that you don't destroy any of the relationships in your life, but you only build them. Living sexually free. This is a more candid conversation than many of us might want to have right now, but this is something that undoes a lot of our lives, an irresponsibility that can bring about devastating consequences. And so it's important to take this part of your life, get it under control, and get an understanding of what it is that's actually going on, and how to position yourself in such a way that you don't hurt yourself, but that it's something that actually is a positive aspect of your life. Another title, Spearheading a National Transformation. Have you ever wanted to live a life that changed the world? A life that left an imprint that transcended past the years of your own life? One man has already done that. Do you want to spend your life discovering how to do it, or do you want to know now? You've got the capability of doing that. And then finally, the man that God will use. How often do we find ourselves in our own prayer closets, men, crying out to God, asking Him to use us, not only in our family, not only in our church, but our communities, our cities, our nations. We see the trouble that exists in all the lands of the world, and we want to be responsible. We want to take responsibility and be able to have an impact, not only for ourselves, but for the children we raise, whom we know we're going to send out into the cities, we're going to send out into the country, we're going to send out into the world. How can I become that kind of man? Again, do you want to spend the years of your life toiling, trying to figure it out? Or do you want to gain the wisdom of another man who's been able to do exactly what you aspire to do? And so we have a tremendous opportunity with Pastor Sunday Adelaja out of the God Embassy Church here in Ukraine, because he's written many, many books, nearly 100 books that express all the facets of his life that have brought success, the ones that have brought pain, and how to even bring healing from that pain. So I encourage you to take advantage of it. I encourage you to learn the wisdom of 40 years of life in a matter of months, because we only have one life to live, and I encourage you to make the most of that life. Thank you.